ladies and the gentlemen, before the noise of the world enters, before the responsibilities begin to speak, there is a sacred moment, the silence of the morning. In this silence, what you choose to say to yourself becomes the architect of your day. Just as a seed determines the shape of the tree, your morning words shape your entire life. Every morning, you are not just waking up, you are beginning again. And in that beginning, I offer you 5 powerful things to tell yourself, not as wishes, not as hopes, but as intentions, as truths spoken with awareness. I am here. These 3 words hold a quiet power that transcends the noise of the world. They are not merely a confirmation of physical presence. They are a declaration of awareness, a return to oneself in a world that constantly pulls the mind away, into memories of the past or projections of the future. When you say, I am here, each morning you are choosing to wake up fully, not just with your body, but with your mind and spirit anchored in the now. The human tendency is to drift. We carry unfinished thoughts from yesterday, regrets that eat at our present joy, or anxieties about tomorrow that have not yet arrived. We forget that all transformation, all progress, all growth only happens in this one space, the present moment. Nothing real can happen in the past. Nothing can truly be acted upon the future. Life unfolds now. So when you say, I am here, you are calling yourself back from all the places your mind runs to, back into alignment with your breath, your heartbeat, and the space that surrounds you. To truly be here is not a passive act. It is active awareness. It means you observe your thoughts without judgment. Running, you feel your emotions without clinging to them. You sense your surroundings without getting lost in distraction. Presence is a practice, and every morning it begins with choice. That choice begins with these 3 words. Each time you say them slowly. Let the words echo within you. Let them not be noise, but a signal to your mind that now is what matters most. I am here also fosters gratitude. When you are present, you start to notice things that otherwise go unseen. Running through the park, the soft light of morning, the rhythm of your breath, the stillness that precedes the day's movement. You begin to realize that this moment, just as it is enough. And from that simple recognition grows peace. And from peace, power. This affirmation also builds inner resilience. Life will always present stress, pressure, and uncertainty. But when you are here, truly here, you respond instead of react. You move with clarity instead of chaos. You find that calm is not something you chase, park, it is something you return to again and again. By being fully present, you access the strength that has always been within you, waiting for your attention. So each morning before you do anything else, say it. I am here. Feel it as you say it. Breathe it. Let it sink into your bones. Because if you are not fully here, then no matter what you accomplish, something vital will always feel missing. But if you are here, grounded, aware, open, then even the smallest act becomes meaningful. The day becomes a canvas, and you, fully present, are the artist. I am capable. These words are not meant to flatter or mask insecurity. They are a reminder, ring through the park. A deep recognition of what already exists within you. Every morning as the day begins to unfold, life will inevitably place challenges in your path. Some will be small, others will test your limits. But before the first obstacle appears, you must prepare the mind to meet it. And there is no greater preparation than telling yourself, I am capable. This statement reconnects you with your inner strength. The park, it acknowledges that the strength you seek is not something you must acquire from the outside. It is not given by others, nor is it dependent on circumstances. It is already within you, perhaps buried, perhaps forgotten, but always present. When you say, running through the park, I am capable, you awaken this strength. You breathe life into it, you call it to the surface. Too often, we allow self-doubt to define our thoughts. The inner voice, if left untrained, becomes an echo of fear, comparison, or limitation. It tells you that you are not ready, not skilled, not strong enough. And the more you listen to it, the more you shrink, running through the park. But when you deliberately choose to say, I am capable, you shift the conversation. You don't wait for confidence to arise. You cultivate it. You train the mind just as the body is trained through movement and repetition. Believing you are capable does not mean you will never fail. In fact, it means you are strong enough to face failure without being destroyed by it. It means that even when things don't go as planned, running through the park, you do not collapse. You observe, you adjust. You rise again. It means your spirit is adaptable. It means you trust in your ability to learn, to grow, to navigate uncertainty. This affirmation also invites discipline. When you tell yourself you are capable, you begin to act accordingly. You take responsibility. You stop waiting for motivation or the perfect moment. You start where you are, with what you have. Take the first step. And often, it is the act of taking that step, no matter how small, that reinforces the belief itself. Over time, I am capable becomes more than a phrase. It becomes a lens through which you experience the world. Tasks that once seemed overwhelming now appear as opportunities for growth. Hamburg. Criticism loses its sting because you are no longer defined by the opinions of others. Setbacks no longer mean defeat. They become invitations to deepen your resolve. So each morning, look into yourself, even if only for a few seconds, and affirm it. I am capable. Let the words cut through the fog of hesitation. Let them ground you when the day begins to feel heavy. Remember, capability is not measured by perfection or ease. It is measured by presence, persistence, and the refusal to give up. You have what it takes. Tomorrow, not someday. Now, I accept what I cannot control. These words are not about weakness, nor about giving up. They are about wisdom. They are a reminder that peace begins where resistance ends. Every day, you will encounter people, events, and situations that are far beyond your reach. The world moves according to its own rhythm, not your expectations. And the more you try to control what is not yours to hold, the more you suffer. But in the simple act of accepting, you begin to free yourself. Park. Acceptance does not mean approval. It does not mean you agree with everything that happens around you. It simply means you choose to stop fighting reality. You recognize that there is a difference between effort and attachment. You do your best, and then you let go. This is where peace begins. This is where your energy returns to you. Many people live in a state of constant tension. They want life to follow their plan. They want others to behave a certain way. Want the world to bend to their will. But the truth is, the more you demand control, the more control you lose. You become reactive, emotionally fragile, easily shaken. But when you say, I accept what I cannot control, you reclaim your inner space. You stop wasting your strength on what is unchangeable and begin investing it where it matters. On yourself, your choices, your response. Think about nature. The river does not argue with the rock. It flows around it. The tree does not curse the storm. It bends, it endures. And in that endurance, it grows stronger. So too must you learn the art of surrender, not out of fear, but out of trust. Trust that letting go does not mean falling apart. It means you are choosing to live with clarity, not confusion. Acceptance also deepens your emotional balance. When you stop fighting what is, your mind becomes quieter. Anxiety lessens, frustration fades. You begin to observe instead of react. You listen more than you speak. You stop rushing to fix things and start understanding them. You realize that control is an illusion and peace is a choice. Each morning, the park, when you affirm these words, you prepare yourself for life's unpredictability. You tell your mind, today, through the park. I will meet what comes without resistance. Whether it's the weather, another person's mood, unexpected delays, or life's uncertainties, you already have your response ready. Acceptance, not as defeat, but as inner mastery. And here is the beauty. Once you stop clinging to control, life flows more easily. You become lighter, you laugh more, you adapt. You are not tossed around by every wave because your anchor is within. Say it and mean it. I accept what I cannot control. This is not resignation, this is liberation. And from that place of calm, you can finally act with true purpose. I choose to move forward. These words carry quiet strength, not loud, not dramatic, but steady, unwavering. Life, in its nature, is full of cycles. Joy comes and goes, pain arises and passes. Success visits, and so does failure. What defines a person is not whether they experience hardship, but whether they choose to rise again. Every morning, this choice stands before you. Stay where you are, held back by what has been, or step forward, even if your steps are slow. When you say, I choose to move forward, you are declaring that the past does not own you. This choice is powerful because it is intentional. It does not deny pain. It does not ignore mistakes. Instead, it honors them, acknowledges them, and still decides to go on. Forward does not mean fast. It does not mean perfect. It means growth. It means movement. It means life. Stagnation feels safe, but it slowly suffocates the soul. Fear convinces you to wait. Wait until you feel ready, until the circumstances change, and until you feel more confident. But waiting often becomes a prison. Action becomes the only key. To move forward requires courage. Through the park, it means stepping into the unknown without full clarity. It means walking with doubt in your pocket, but not letting it guide your steps. And the truth is, no one feels completely ready. But movement creates momentum, and momentum creates clarity. The first step might be small. Waking up early, forgiving someone, trying again, speaking up, letting go. But that one decision begins to shift your entire direction. Choosing to move forward also means letting go of attachments to identity, to stories you've told yourself, to wounds you've held onto as proof of your limits. When you move forward, you no longer feed the voice that says, "This is who I am because of what happened to me." Instead, you say, "This is who I am becoming because I refuse to stay there." The mind resists change even when the current situation brings pain, because it fears the unknown more than it fears discomfort. But deep within you is a quiet force, a will that knows movement is necessary. Every morning, this decision resets. Running the park, you are not asked to conquer the whole path, only to take the next step. There will be setbacks. There will be days when moving forward feels heavy. But even still, the decision remains yours. To carry your burdens or to release them. To dwell in yesterday or to walk into the possibility of today. Say it with breath. Say it with calm. Say it with resolve. Choose to move forward. In these words, there is healing. In these words, there is action. In these words, there is life. Because as long as you keep moving, even slowly, you are not defeated. You are becoming. And that is enough. Today is a gift. These 5 words, when spoken with awareness, can transform the way you see everything. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to forget the miracle of waking up. It's easy to take for granted the breath that rises and falls without command, the heart that beats quietly in your chest, the light that spills through your window each morning. But when you begin your day by saying, "Today is a gift," you return to gratitude, and gratitude opens the door to presence, to joy, to purpose. You see, many live as though time is endless, delaying what matters, postponing change, assuming there will always be another tomorrow. But life is not promised. It is not guaranteed. Each day you are given is a one-time opportunity. It will never come again in exactly the same way. The people you meet, the choices you make, the experiences you have, they are all unique to this one day. When you understand this, you stop wasting your time on things that drain you, distract you, or dull your spirit. You start living with intention. To see the day as a gift is not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It is about recognizing that even with challenges, today is still an opportunity to learn, to grow, to connect, to create. Gratitude doesn't require everything to be easy, only requires you to see clearly. Even on difficult days, the simple act of being alive holds value. Even pain can be a teacher if you meet it with openness. This perspective shifts your energy. When you treat the day as a gift, you protect it. You are more mindful of what you give your attention to. You are more careful with your words, your time, your focus. You are less likely to be pulled into unnecessary drama or waste hours on things that leave you empty. Instead, you invest your energy in what brings you closer to who you truly are, in things that matter deeply to your heart. Gratitude also brings humility. It reminds you that life is not owed to you, that everything you hold, your relationships, your health, your opportunities are not permanent. And this awareness does not create fear, it creates appreciation. You cherish more, you complain less, you move slower, not because of laziness, but because of reverence. So when you wake up, take a moment, breathe deeply, look around, feel the aliveness in your body. Say softly to yourself, today is a gift. Let those words echo inside you. Carry them throughout your day. Let them shape the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you treat others. Because this day, this one day is yours, not by right, by grace. And how you use it will echo far beyond sunset. Every day begins not just with the rising of the sun, but with the rising of your own awareness. And in that awakening, one truth becomes clear: my thoughts shape my reality. These words are not philosophical theory. They are a direct reflection of the invisible forces that guide your every action. The mind is the architect of experience. It does not just observe the world, it filters it, colors it, bends it to match the stories you tell yourself. So when you wake each morning, before the world speaks to you, you must first speak to your mind with intention, with clarity, with awareness. Your thoughts are not passive. They are seeds. Every belief, every idea, every assumption you hold is like a seed that grows into your behavior, your emotions, your decisions, and eventually your reality. If you plant fear, you will harvest hesitation. If you plant doubt, you will reap stagnation. But if you choose to plant thoughts of strength, growth, clarity, and gratitude, the world will begin to reflect these qualities back to you. This is not magic. It is attention. Whatever you give attention to expands. So your inner world becomes your lens for the outer world. Too often, people walk through life unaware that their suffering is not always from events, but from their interpretation of events. One person sees a setback and thinks, I'm a failure. Another sees the same setback and thinks, I'm learning. The difference is not in the situation. It is in the thought. And from the thought grows either limitation or liberation. So by reminding yourself each morning that your thoughts shape your reality, you reclaim authorship over your life. You no longer let the mind run wild. You become the one who trains it, who directs it, who corrects it. This requires discipline. The mind will resist. It will want to return to old patterns, familiar complaints, comfortable fears. But discipline is not about force. It is about consistency, about gently guiding your mind back to clarity every time it strays. It is about choosing thoughts that serve your growth rather than thoughts that repeat your past. And this is where your power lies. Not in controlling everything around you, but in choosing what you will carry within you. As the day begins, Notice the first thoughts that arise. Are they heavy or light, limiting or expansive, fearful or curious? Each thought is a doorway. If you walk through the wrong ones often enough, they become prisons. But the right thoughts, those aligned with purpose, kindness, truth, become pathways to a fuller life. So tell yourself every morning with full awareness, my thoughts shape my reality. Speak it not just to hear it, but to believe it. And believe it not just to feel good, to take responsibility. Because once you understand the power of your own mind, you no longer wait for life to change. You begin to change it one thought at a time. I am responsible for my own peace. This affirmation is a quiet revolution. It breaks the lifelong habit of blaming the outside world for your inner unrest. It is easy to believe that peace is something others should give you, or that it will arrive when circumstances become perfect. Peace is not something you stumble upon by accident. It is something you create deliberately, moment by moment. When you say, I am responsible for my own peace, you are not avoiding the chaos of the world. You are simply choosing not to become it. Every day, life offers a mix of calm and confusion, ease and difficulty, kindness and misunderstanding. You cannot control all of it. People will be impatient. Situations will not go your way. News will bring worry. Traffic will move slowly. Plans will fall apart. If your peace depends on the behavior of others or the perfection of life, then it will always be fragile. When peace comes from within, when it is your own decision, your own commitment, then it becomes unshakable. Responsibility is not a burden, it is empowerment. When you claim your peace as your own, you stop giving others the power to disturb it. You no longer react to everything. You pause, you breathe, you observe. And in that space, you choose your response. This is not about detachment or coldness. It is about presence. You remain connected to the world without being consumed by it. You feel deeply without being drowned by emotion. Peace is a practice. It is not built in one morning. It is cultivated through awareness, through the way you speak to yourself, the way you treat others, the way you move through moments of stress. It is a quiet discipline, one that must be renewed each day. There will be days when it feels harder to find, when emotions are loud and thoughts are scattered. On those days, especially, remind yourself, I am responsible for my own peace. This reminder is not meant to suppress feeling. It is meant to guide you through it with wisdom. Choosing peace also means making boundaries. It means deciding what energy you allow in and what you release. It means letting go of arguments that steal your clarity. It means stepping away from noise that drowns your inner voice. It means saying no when your spirit needs rest and saying yes to practices that nourish your mind. So, as the day begins, remember this. Your peace is not a gift that someone else can deliver. It is not waiting at the end of your to-do list or hidden in your next success. It is already inside you, calm, steady, waiting to be chosen. Each breath is an invitation. Each challenge is an opportunity. And each morning, as you wake, affirm it with stillness and strength. I am responsible for my own peace. In that choice, you return to yourself. In that choice, you begin to live with intention, regardless of what the world brings.